What if the world's most iconic statues weren't just art, but vaults of ancient secrets? I mean, think about it. For thousands of years, people have been building these massive monuments, but what if they were hiding something incredible inside them the entire time? We're talking about stuff that could literally rewrite history. Today we are going to find out. This is going to be one of the craziest videos we have ever made. From a 14th century banknote hidden in a Buddha's head to sealed letters inside Spanish relics, and even mysterious voids beneath the Great Sphinx of Giza, we're uncovering the secrets that history literally tried to bury in stone. We spent millions of dollars getting access to some of the most insane locations on Earth to bring you this video. Join us as we explore ancient time capsules, forgotten messages, and the strange sacred objects hiding inside sculptures across centuries. This is bigger than anything we've ever done before, and trust me, you are not going to want to miss a single second of this. One statue held a curse, another, a link to lost civilizations. We are going to see things that will absolutely blow your mind. Watch now to see the most mind-blowing statue discoveries ever made, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another mystery revealed. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, we are flying to the other side of the planet for something insane. Imagine buying a super old wooden statue, like hundreds of years old, and thinking it's just a cool decoration for your house. That is exactly what an Australian man did. He bought this 13th century Chinese Buddha head, brought it home, and for years, it just sat there. Little did he know he was sitting on a literal treasure that was over 700 years old. This is a story you have to see to believe. So one day, experts are looking at this statue, right? They're using all this high-tech gear like CT scanners, the same stuff they use in hospitals to look inside your body. They weren't looking for anything specific, just doing a routine check. But then, something popped up on the screen that made everyone in the room stop breathing. Tucked away deep inside the Buddha's head was a folded piece of paper. Not just any paper, but a banknote from the 14th century. A 700-year-old piece of money. This wasn't just like finding a dollar bill in your old jeans. This was a Ming Dynasty banknote, one of the earliest forms of paper money in the entire world. It was a 1 yuan note, which was a pretty big deal back then. The fact that it survived, perfectly preserved inside a wooden head for 7 centuries, is absolutely mind-blowing. It's like finding a message in a bottle, but the bottle is a priceless artifact, and the message is a piece of history that changes everything we thought we knew. Think about the odds of this. This statue could have been destroyed, lost, or thrown away 100 times over. It survived wars, dynasties falling, and a journey across the entire globe. But somehow this fragile piece of paper stayed completely hidden and safe. The person who put it there probably never imagined that one day in the 21st century, a bunch of people would be freaking out over it. They were essentially creating a time capsule without even knowing it, and we are the ones who get to open it. So why would someone hide money inside a Buddha statue? Well, the experts think it was a sacred offering. In ancient China, people would place valuable items like scriptures, grains, or even precious metals inside statues as a way to give them a spiritual life force. It was a sign of devotion, a prayer for prosperity and protection. This banknote wasn't just cash, it was a sacred object, a gift to the divine, meant to stay hidden forever as part of the statue's soul. What's even crazier is what this tells us about the past. This single piece of paper is a direct link to the economy and trade of 14th century China under the first Ming Emperor, Hongwu. It shows us how advanced their system of currency was, way before paper money became common in Europe. It's a physical piece of evidence that you can't get from a textbook. It's like the person who hid it reached through time to show us a piece of their world. The note itself is a work of art. It's printed on mulberry bark paper, and has these intricate designs to prevent counterfeiting, which was a huge problem even back then. It even has a warning on it that says counterfeiters would be beheaded. They were not messing around. This wasn't just a simple IOU, it was a sophisticated piece of financial technology for its time, backed by the power of an entire empire. And it was just sitting inside a wooden head. This discovery completely changed the value of the statue. It went from being a cool antique to a priceless historical artifact overnight. It's now in a museum where experts can study it and protect it. It makes you wonder, how many other statues are out there right now, sitting in museums or private collections, with secrets just like this hidden inside? What other pieces of history are just waiting for a CT scan to be revealed? Think about it, every ancient artifact we see could be a treasure chest. A simple vase, a wooden carving, a stone sculpture. We walk past these things in museums and think, oh, that's cool. But what if it's holding something that could rewrite history? This Buddha head proves that the most incredible discoveries are sometimes hidden in plain sight, just waiting for the right moment and the right technology to be found. This is just the first stop on our journey, and my mind is already blown. We found 700-year-old money inside a head. It doesn't get much crazier than that, or does it? Because next we're heading to Spain, where statues weren't hiding money. They were hiding secret sealed letters, and what they say is even more shocking. Stay tuned. Okay, if you thought the banknote was crazy, you are not ready for this. We are in Spain, and we're looking at these old religious statues. They're beautiful, right? Carved hundreds of years ago, incredibly detailed. But it turns out, one of these statues was hiding a secret in the most unexpected place imaginable. We're talking about a time capsule hidden inside the statue's butt. I am not even joking. This is 100% real. This particular statue was of Jesus Christ, and it had been sitting in a church in a small Spanish village for 240 years. It was being moved for restoration work when the workers noticed something was off. There was a small hidden compartment, and when they carefully opened it up, they found 2 handwritten letters, perfectly preserved. The letters were written in 1777 by a priest named Joaquin Minguez. He basically used the statue as his personal time capsule. So, what did this secret butt letter say? This is the best part. The priest wrote a detailed description of what life was like in his village back in the 18th century. He wrote about everything. He talked about the popular games people played, like cards and ball games. He mentioned the common diseases that were devastating the population, like typhoid fever. He even wrote about the local economy, the harvests, and the names of the local leaders. This wasn't a holy text or a sacred prayer. It was a direct message to the future. The priest specifically wrote that he was putting the letter there so that future generations could discover it and learn about their past. It was a deliberate, calculated act to communicate across centuries. He was essentially sending a DM to the future, and we are the ones who finally got to read it. It is one of the most incredible things I have ever heard of. Imagine the foresight this priest had. In 1777, with no internet, no TV, no way of knowing what the future would be like, he decided to document his world on a piece of paper and hide it where he thought it would be safe forever. He chose a statue of Jesus, something he knew would be cared for and venerated for generations. It was the perfect hiding spot, both sacred and secure, and he was right. It stayed hidden for almost 250 years. The level of detail in the letters is what's truly amazing. He wasn't just writing generalities, he was giving a snapshot of daily life. He wrote about the wine cellars, the bullfighters, the royal court in Madrid. It's like reading a history book written by someone who was actually there, not a historian looking back hundreds of years later. It's raw, it's real, and it was hidden inside a statue's rear end. You can't make this stuff up. This discovery is a historian's dream come true. It provides a grassroots look at Spanish society that official documents often miss. While kings and queens were writing decrees, this priest was documenting the lives of ordinary people, what they ate, how they played, what they feared. It's a priceless piece of social history that gives a voice to the past in a way that few artifacts can. And it was all thanks to one clever priest and his very creative hiding spot. Of course, the original letters were sent to the Archbishop's archives for preservation, because they are incredibly valuable and fragile. But before they did that, they made a copy. And in the spirit of the original priest, they placed the copy right back inside the statue's butt for someone else to find in another 250 years. They are continuing the tradition. How cool is that? They're paying it forward for a future generation of treasure hunters. It makes you think about what we would put in a time capsule today. If you could write a letter to someone in the year 2270, what would you tell them? What details of our daily lives would seem strange or fascinating to them? This priest gave us a gift, a window into his world, and the restorers have given that same gift to the future. It's a beautiful cycle of history and communication. From ancient Chinese money to secret Spanish butt letters, statues are proving to be the world's best hiding places. We've seen secrets of commerce and secrets of daily life, but next we're going to a place of myth, and legend. We're going to Egypt to investigate the Great Sphinx of Giza because recent scans have found mysterious, empty spaces hidden beneath it, and what could be inside is the biggest mystery of all. Alright, buckle up, because we are now in Egypt, standing in front of one of the most mysterious and iconic structures on the entire planet, the Great Sphinx of Giza. For thousands of years, this thing has guarded the pyramids, and people have wondered, what is it hiding? Is it just a giant statue, or is there more to it? Well, we are about to find out, because modern science has just given us a peek at what might be lying underneath. This is absolutely insane. For decades there have been rumors and myths about the Sphinx, legends of a hall of records, a hidden library containing the lost knowledge of Atlantis, or an ancient, highly advanced civilization. Most people thought it was just a fantasy, a cool story. But then, scientists came in with some of the most advanced scanning technology on Earth. We're talking ground-penetrating radar, seismic tomography, stuff that can see deep into the Earth without digging a single hole. And what they found is going to blow your mind. The scans revealed several mysterious voids and chambers deep in the bedrock directly beneath and around the Sphinx. These aren't natural caves or cracks in the rock. The data shows clear, man-made anomalies. We're talking about perfectly shaped rooms and tunnels hidden for millennia. There is literally a secret underground complex right under our feet. One of the most significant voids is located right under the Sphinx's front paws. It appears to be a large, rectangular chamber. What was it for? Who built it? And what is inside it right now? These are the questions that have archaeologists and historians buzzing with excitement. Another tunnel seems to lead from the back of the Sphinx deep into its body. The Egyptian government is extremely secretive about this, which only adds to the mystery. There are so many theories about what these chambers could be. The most famous one, pushed by people like the psychic Edgar Cayce, is the Hall of Records theory. Cayce claimed in the 1930s that a chamber would be found near the Sphinx's right paw, containing records from the lost continent of Atlantis. While mainstream science dismisses this, the discovery of a chamber in that exact spot is, you have to admit, a little bit spooky. More conservative archaeologists have different ideas. They suggest the chambers could be undiscovered tombs of pharaohs or queens from the Old Kingdom, or perhaps they were work chambers, used by the laborers who built the Sphinx and the pyramids. They could have been used for religious rituals dedicated to the sun god Ra, whom the Sphinx is thought to represent. The truth is, nobody knows for sure because no one has been inside. Getting permission to actually excavate or drill into these chambers is almost impossible. The Sphinx is a World Heritage Site, and the Egyptian authorities are incredibly protective of it, and for good reason. Any kind of invasive exploration could damage the monument forever. So for now we have to rely on these remote scans, which are like looking at a wrapped present on Christmas morning. We know there's something inside, but we don't know what it is. The suspense is absolutely killing me. Think about what could be in there. It could be nothing, just empty rooms, or it could be the single greatest archaeological discovery of all time. We could find scrolls that rewrite ancient history. We could find artifacts from a civilization we never knew existed. We could find the tomb of an unknown king filled with gold and treasures beyond our wildest dreams. The possibilities are literally endless. This is what makes archaeology so exciting. It's not just about digging in the dirt, it's about using technology to peel back the layers of time. The Sphinx has been sitting here for 4,500 years, holding on to its secrets. It has watched empires rise and fall, and through it all it has remained silent. But now, thanks to science, we're finally starting to hear it whisper. So while we can't go down there and open the door ourselves, the evidence is clear. The Sphinx is more than just a statue, it's a lockbox. A giant, lion-bodied safe guarding the secrets of the ancient world. And one day, we will find the key. But as we wait for that day, our next story takes a much darker turn. We're going from ancient knowledge to ancient curses. The next statue we're investigating is said to bring ruin to anyone who owns it. Okay, things are about to get really spooky. We've seen money, letters, and secret chambers, but what about a statue that holds something much more sinister? A curse. This is the story of the goddess of death, a limestone statue from Cyprus that is said to bring death and destruction to every single person who owns it. I know it sounds like a horror movie, but the history behind this thing is terrifyingly real. The statue was carved around 2000 BC and was unearthed in Cyprus in the 1870s. Its first owner was a man named Lord Elfont. Within 6 years of getting the statue, he and his entire family of 7 were all dead. That could be a coincidence, right? A tragic but explainable event. Well, let's look at the next owner. A man named Ivor Minucci bought the statue. Guess what happened? He and his entire family died within 4 years. The pattern is starting to look pretty creepy. The next owner was Lord Thompson Noel. You can probably see where this is going. He and his entire family, you guessed it, all died within a few years. At this point, the statue's reputation was sealed. It was known as a bringer of death. 2 surviving family members from the previous owners who hadn't lived with the statue decided they'd had enough. They donated it to the Royal Scottish Museum in Edinburgh, hoping to finally be rid of the curse. You would think that a museum would be the safest place for it, right? Wrong. The curator who handled the statue and put it on display was found dead in his office within a year. Other museum staff who touched it or moved it reported strange accidents, illnesses, and deaths in their families. The curse didn't seem to care if it was in a private home or a public museum. It was attached to the object itself. So what is this statue? It's a small, crudely carved female figure believed to represent an ancient fertility goddess. But archaeologists and historians have nicknamed it the Goddess of Death for obvious reasons. There's nothing visibly scary about it. It doesn't have fangs or glowing red eyes. It's just a simple piece of stone. But its history is one of the most chilling tales in the world of cursed objects. Skeptics, of course, will say this is all just a massive string of coincidences. They'll argue that in the 19th and early 20th centuries, life expectancy was lower and diseases were more common. It's statistically possible that these families would have died anyway, and maybe they're right. But the sheer consistency of the tragedy is hard to ignore. Every single family that owned it was wiped out. That's not just bad luck, that's a statistical anomaly. The museum eventually got so spooked by the statue's reputation and the strange events surrounding it, that they moved it into storage. Today it's kept locked away, deep in the museum's archives, far from the public eye. No one is allowed to touch it. It's considered too dangerous to even handle. They literally put a cursed object in solitary confinement. Whether you believe in curses or not, the story is a powerful one. It shows the psychological power that an object can hold. The fear and belief surrounding the statue became a part of its identity. The story of the curse is now as much a part of the statue as the limestone it's carved from. It's a legend that has grown over a century, fueled by tragedy and fear. It makes you wonder if the curse is real, or if it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Did people get sick because of a supernatural force? Or did the stress and fear of owning a cursed object manifest into real-world problems? We'll probably never know for sure. But I can tell you one thing. I would not want this statue in my house. I don't care how much it's worth. This statue held a dark secret, a legacy of death. But our final statue holds a very different kind of secret. It's not about money or curses, it's about a connection to an entire civilization that was thought to be lost to time. This last discovery is one of the most important archaeological finds of the modern era, and it all started with a single, mysterious statue. Don't go anywhere. For our final and most mind-blowing story, we're going to Turkey, to a place that has completely rewritten the beginning of human history. For a long time we thought we had a pretty good handle on how civilization started. First people learned to farm, then they settled down in villages, and only after that did they have the time and resources to build complex things like temples and giant statues. It turns out, that entire timeline was completely wrong. In the 1990s, an archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt was examining a site in southeastern Turkey called Göbekli Tepe. For years, people thought it was just a medieval cemetery. But Schmidt had a feeling it was something much, much older. He started digging, and what he uncovered was the single most important archaeological discovery of the last 50 years. He found a massive temple complex, filled with gigantic T-shaped stone pillars. These weren't just random rocks. These were intricately carved statues weighing up to 20 tons each. They were covered in incredible carvings of animals, foxes, lions, snakes, and vultures. The pillars were arranged in large circles, forming what appears to be the world's first ever temple. And here's the part that breaks your brain. Radiocarbon dating showed that Göbekli Tepe is 12,000 years old. Let me say that again so it sinks in. 12,000 years old. That is 7,000 years older than the pyramids of Giza. It's 6,000 years older than Stonehenge. This is from a time when we thought humans were just simple hunter-gatherers, living in small nomadic tribes. We didn't think people from this era were capable of this kind of massive, organized construction project. These statues proved that they were. This discovery flips the script on human history. It suggests that it wasn't agriculture that led to civilization, but the other way around. The desire to build this massive religious site, these incredible statues, may have been the catalyst that forced people to settle down. They needed to organize a large workforce, feed them, and house them. This massive spiritual project may have been what kickstarted the invention of farming and settled life. These statues are the key to understanding this lost world. The carvings on them provide clues about the beliefs and mythology of these ancient people. The prevalence of dangerous animals suggests they lived in a world that was much wilder and scarier than ours. The mysterious T-shape of the pillars is thought to represent stylized human figures, perhaps ancient gods or ancestors, watching over the rituals that took place there. What's even more incredible is that after about 1,000 years of use, the people who built Göbekli Tepe did something completely bizarre. They deliberately and carefully buried the entire site. They covered their magnificent temple and its statues with thousands of tons of dirt, preserving it perfectly until we found it 11,000 years later. Why would they do that? Why bury your most sacred place? It's one of the biggest mysteries in archaeology. Some experts think they were decommissioning the temple, putting their gods to sleep. Others believe it was a way to protect it from some unknown threat or to preserve it for the future. Whatever the reason, their strange decision created another perfect time capsule. Because it was buried, the site was protected from the elements and from later civilizations who would have looted it for stone. They essentially gift-wrapped their world for us. The excavation at Göbekli Tepe is still ongoing. Less than 5% of the site has been uncovered. Geophysical surveys show that there are at least 15 other massive stone circles still buried underground waiting to be explored. What other secrets are these buried statues holding? What else will we learn about our earliest ancestors? We have only just scratched the surface of this incredible lost civilization. From a banknote in a Buddha's head to the world's first temple, these statues have shown us that history is full of secrets, hidden in the most unlikely of places. They are not just art. They are messengers from the past, carrying stories of commerce, daily life, curses, and even the very dawn of human civilization. They remind us that there is always more to discover, and the next world-changing secret might be hiding in plain sight. So, what did you guys think? We found 700-year-old money, a secret letter in a statue's butt, hidden chambers under the Sphinx, a cursed idol, and an entire lost civilization. It just proves that the world is so much more mysterious than we think. Every statue, every artifact, could be holding a secret that changes everything. This was one of the most insane adventures we've ever been on, and I want to thank you for coming along with us on this journey. The biggest question is, what should we investigate next? Let me know in the comments. These discoveries remind us that history isn't just in books, it's all around us, waiting to be uncovered. For more videos and articles exploring the amazing mysteries of our world, visit brightside.me. We're always finding new and incredible stories to share with you, so make sure you check it out for more content just like this. We put a ton of work into these videos, and your support means everything to us. And before you go, don't forget to check out our podcast on Spotify and leave a positive review. It helps us out a ton. Also, the standard disclaimer. This video is made for entertainment purposes. We do not make any warranties about the completeness, safety, and reliability. Any action you take upon the information in this video is strictly at your own risk. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.